Seven Trumpets prepper. And so here we are, a little over 100 days past Trump going in office. And I'm getting to the point where I try to be very patient and let everything settle itself down where that, where this groove is that we're running in different departments of things. And I told everyone 8 days before Trump was elected, he'd be elected, it would turn to fascism. I keep hammering this reminder to everybody because it seems like everyone catches amnesia anymore, especially after Rona. And ever since 2020, everybody just seems to catch amnesia on everything. So you have to bring out the receipts. And so I told people this would happen. And lo and behold, in the news, the first red flag, full bore, guaranteed a winner, can be stamped off in Luke's card, that apparently, if you want to give up your citizenship, now from what I've understood, and you can go ahead and scratch up as hearsay at the moment, and this is not the core of it, but it helps lay a foundation. Apparently, that if you want to give up your U.S. citizen rights, that you have to appear before a consulate or an embassy in another country and attest to that, fill out paperwork, etc. Now that's the word on the street. I'm an electrician. I'm not a lawyer, but that's the word. Regardless if it's true or not, what I find intriguing is that many consulates and embassies are being closed around the world, especially from what the word on the street is in Africa. I find that interesting because a lot of the Hebrew Israelites and diaspora are wanting to return to the Middle East, to Africa. And they are going to find that there's an issue there as far as trying to accomplish some of that in some means. And other people trying to get out of here, whether you're Hebrew or Gentile, for that matter, converted to the truth. The other thing is that there's this whole push to be able to deport U.S. citizens now for heinous crimes. It starts there, it works its way down. Next thing you know, you get a speeding ticket. The over-the-top police officer that has got to be, policing everybody because he was bullied in school, and so I guess his solution now is to go bully everybody on police as a police officer, because I've seen it happen many times, and it seems like I know lately people probably think I hate the police, and I have found that they've done nothing productive for my life and for many other people's lives, and so respectfully, I'll just handle my own, okay, at this point. But nonetheless, the deportation of U.S. citizens is now a viable option on the table. And, as things further progress and you see fascism fully rear its ugly head in this country, you're going to see things like out of, The Man in the High Castle. If you've never read the book or watched the series, long and short of it, there was this one point where the in German, the military command, Obergruppenführer. Yeah, I think is what it was. Obergruppenführer. Führer. I know I'm getting that wrong, but anyway, I believe it was that particular rank in that book and in that time space, and it's like an alternate reality where that Germany won the war. They had the East Coast, Japan has the West Coast, and whereas Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, down through that area is like the neutral zone. And there's this part in it where the guy that's in the U.S. that's like one of the high command people, his son ends up going and being unalived and the Gestapo or the SS comes and gets him or whatever, because that he has a medical condition. And it's going to get to the point where that you're going to see modern day version of Gestapo come and get you. There was a recent event where that the police kicked down a woman's door because the child was unjabbed, but not that kind of jab, just a regular jabbed, to be protected against some crazy something. And so they come kick the door down, etc., and we're seeing this police state, this overreaching now. Qualified immunity, definitely, I'm sure, will be well at play. You're going to see this. And it's interesting to me that the I guess the House committee, I believe it was, is, they're full support of that. People can be deported that's even a U.S. citizen. So very interesting events are unfolding before our eyes. And, we're not even 6 months into this thing. I'm telling you, I think I said whenever Trump got elected that I don't want to misquote myself. I believe I said 6 months to a year, you're going to see things going on. And, I mean, here we are, we're less than 6 months, and you're already starting to see the rubber meet the road on things that I said were definitely on the menu. And here they are, already being served on the plate. So, sketchy stuff, folks, and I'm going to tell you, we need to all get our houses in order because this shadow is being descended upon us. I believe the YouTube channel is Legion of Men. I was watching it today, and granted, he uses a lot of language. There's so many content creators that have such great content, but they just cannot speak without profanities. I can have an intellectual conversation with you without spewing profanities. I just don't know why other people can't do it. Anyway, the content, he was a duet in this content where this guy was talking about that everyone is so disassociated and disconnected anymore that, unlike us 80s and 90s kids that, rode a bicycle in the neighborhood, you went over to each other's houses, played video games, you knew each other's families. It didn't matter what ethnic background you were, color, everybody in the neighborhoods hung out, and it was just a different world, man. And now we are so disassociated, disjointed. You've got AI bots about to be in people's houses and VR sets on their head, and you scroll TikTok and you literally have a conversation with your spouse or your family member right there sending a reel to each other, and they're literally sitting right there, and you could just be like, hey, watch this with it. We're together, but we're not together at all. And there is such a disconnection now that people is not even paying attention anymore how much is shifting and shaking immediately before our very eyes. And there's just this, you have to give this extra effort to survive anymore. I literally, by the grace of the Most High, I'm out here crushing it, doing off-grid and electrical work. But on the same measure, I'm having to do literally double the work nowadays to feel like I've accomplished the same level of work I would have 5 years ago. And doubling down to make the same amount of money, even though it looks like more money, it's going out even at a rapider pace. And so, there is with the tariff thing going in, this week, people are going to start feeling the loss of the ability to get certain items off the shelf. I mean, it is just right here, clear and present danger. And I said I'll discuss this briefly in the video last one I published. And you're watching this all fold in, and there is this massive squeeze that's being put on everyone. And I just don't think that people are really paying attention to the dynamic that's taking place, because that you have all the background noise, you have the disconnection, you have this modern push for so much AI and technology and social media scrolling and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that people are just completely disjointed, that they not paying attention. And so this totalitarian government that's being set up, I watched a video a friend of mine sent me of, the lady going on about Trump's 100 days and all the great things that that's being done. And there is a lot of good things that's been done. I'm so glad we have two genders again. Really glad we worked that out. I think we were struggle busting that one, but I believe everyone has got the memo. You need to go to the mirror, take a look at what you've been gifted by the Creator, and figure out what if you're a man or a woman. Oh, man, I'm so glad we sorted that out. But back on track, the things that are not being discussed at great length is these shadow doctrines that's being put in place. Because I'm going to put news articles in the bottom of the video description, and I also even put that Time magazine article, because I agree or disagree with it. It's very pointed, and you cannot have, I guess the last point I'd say in this is, you cannot have a deep intellectual conversation with people anymore about this, because whether you're a red hatter, whether you were a liberal Democrat, forget all this anymore. Please, for just 1 minute, forget your political affiliation. Forget the Constitution. If you're a person of morals, I would say look at this in light of the Scripture, prophecy, and commandments. But even if you're not a person of faith, please, for just one moment, look at this as you. You're an island. You're the only person that can help you. Look at the foundation that is being laid around you right now, and you will see how sick and evil the agenda is that looks like it is trying to help America, but at the same time right now it is being set up so that what will happen is, if you've ever seen that movie V for Vendetta, and I know I use a lot of like movies and relations to that stuff and pop culture, but there's messages in these things, and like V for Vendetta, I'll never forget that, I don't think, is that where in the movie it talks about, well, they came for the Muslims, and then they came for the Jews, and they came for these people, and they came for the political actors, and I'm misquoting this, but I'm summarizing the fact that they came for all these people systematically, and then when they finally came for me, there was no one. And that's what we're building toward. And today is a confirmation to me. I have to keep saying today to people because I want to drive it home that it's facts now. It's not even summarizing. Surmise. I can't even get that word right. But you know where I'm going with this, is that like you don't even have to try to piece together in your mind anymore, was this factual, what was said, what was warned. It is absolutely on point at this point conjuncture. We're seeing the foundation fully being laid, publicly acknowledged. It's out there in the news, and then you've got to start whittling down from there, because you got to get. It's like trying to get something stick to the wall. You know, them little sticky hands kids will get, and they'll throw them, and it'll stick, and then it holds, and then it finally lets the sticky stuff finally falls off the wall. But sometimes you throw it and it sticks, and it sticks. And that's the process that we're in right now, is they're trying to throw things and get it to stick. Because once it sticks, then you can start whittling down from there. Next thing you know, we're deporting people that's got a DUI. Then we're deporting people that didn't pay their taxes. Then we're deporting people that's trying to keep the Sabbath and won't go to won't do what the government's saying this day or that day, or do it this way or that way, or tried to access their bank account, or didn't have a good social credit score. Guys, it's getting wild. And you need to pay attention. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I don't care. But things that I've told you are starting to come to pass. And I don't care how much good people's doing. You got to remember that 99% of rat poison, I believe it is edible. It's the 1% that's poison in rat poison. So just FYI, I believe that's a factual statement as well. Read the warning label. But anyway, most of it's consumable product. The poison, the little bit, is what gets you in the end. So, guys, as I will continue to say throughout videos moving forward, the solution is the kingdom of Yah, and Mashiach seated on the throne and ruling, and those of us keeping the commandments. That way the nations be ruled with a rod of iron. Everybody's going to learn to get along, love each other, and be at peace. And this foolery and hatred and racism and social division and economic division and religious division, it's going to die. And I can't wait. And more than happy to bend the knee to the sovereign and worship the king. I can't wait for the change of government. I just hope I can get myself in order spiritually, physically, and mentally for the day to come, trying to make that preparation. So, guys, as always, till we see you again here, 7 Trump's Prep Channel. I hope Most High Yah Baruch and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.